working on that.
All right, thank you all for
I
coming.
know, but I was just letting you know, kind of follow up.
Yeah, we need to.
I'll call the August 6, 2018 meeting of Limestone County Commission to order. Pamela, are there any public comment?
No, sir.
All right, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
All present. Commissioner Black, would you lead us to our pledge?
I will.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item, I'll ask for a motion to approve minutes from July 16th and 30th, 2018. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Black, have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $3,028,131.59. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
Chief.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Turner, I have a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion passes unanimously. Are there any conflicts of interest on anything that's fixing to be voted on by the commission? Well, if it is, they're not saying. Is that admission?
I don't know.
Is that admission of guilt by silent, Sheriff, or is that? First item, resolutions, orders. I'll ask for a motion to approve resolution to change commission meeting scheduled for Monday, August 20th, 2018 to Friday, August 17th, 2018. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Contracts, agreements, and grants. Item number one, I'll ask for a motion to approve agreement with Morrell Engineering for construction, engineering, and inspection services on project STP OA-4217 to widen, resurface, traffic stripe, and guardrail on Harvest Road from State Road 251 to Love Branch Road. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve lease for the Sheriff's Department for a 2018 Chevrolet Silverado pickup for an annual rent of $1. Do I hear such motion?
I'll make the motion.
A motion by Mr. Black, a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion?
How many can we get like that?
If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve agreement with the Mental Health Center of North Central Alabama Incorporated to continue providing an on-site juvenile court liaison for 40 hours per week beginning October 1, 2018 through September 30th, 2019 at a cost of $58,905 annually. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
A motion
Second.
by Mr. Turner, a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Under budget revisions, I'll ask for a motion to transfer $20,000 out of the budgetary fund balance to be in addition to the $7,000 in donation for the work up there at the courthouse.
Skip one.
Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, back. I apologize.
You lost your mind skipping that one?
Well, I got other things on my mind.
Have you seen what that one is? That's the bridge.
Not that concerned about the bridge. Ask for a motion to approve reimbursable agreement with Athens Electric Department for utility relocate on Old Highway 20 over a slough of Limestone Creek. Now, here's such motion.
I'll make the motion.
Really?
100%.
Have a motion
I'll
by
actually second.
Commissioner Black, a second by Commissioner Harrison. Any discussion?
Is this gonna be absolutely necessary?
That's what I wonder.
Evidently, it just became necessary, but yes, we are doing it.
Do we know kind of how much it's going to be?
$877,014.
I'll have to look at the
It would
agreement.
not surprise me. It would
No,
not
I mean,
surprise
the total utility relocations about
We got
400,000.
tadpoles down there
And
that's
so
disappearing.
This is part of that.
Part of that
I mean,
money.
water.
Yeah.
There's water, electric.
Wow.
And WOW cable. I think we should be getting the water departments this week, so it's hopefully it should be on the next meeting if they do what they're supposed to do. Should be
We have
getting back.
tadpoles disappearing. You know why a tadpole would disappear?
Does it turn into frogs?
Really?
All right, let's go.
No further discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I've already read the budget revision, so I'll ask for a motion to approve that.
I make a motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion?
Yes. I had a couple of calls making sure that this did not involve removing any Confederate monuments. So just to be sure, we're not taking any monuments down. We're just going to make it easier for you to get through to see them.
If there's no more discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. There's no emergency purchase board appointment. I'll ask for a motion to reappoint Michelle Williamson to the Alabama Mountain Lakes Tourist Association Board of Directors. Term will expire September 30th, 2020. Do I hear such a motion?
motion.
A motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Michelle, you can start celebrating at any time.
Yeah, thanks to that was free.
No personnel actions. The engineer's report, Bryant Moss is having cataract surgery this morning. On one eye, and I think he has the other eye next Monday, so y'all keep Brian in your prayers while he's doing it. The engineer's report, that's what's supposed to.
Bids.
Bids.
Did I miss that again? I got a conflict on that, I'm sorry. I'll ask for a motion to award the bids, and y'all see them. I think we'll take that in one motion for appraisal uniforms for the Revenue Commission, deputy uniforms for Sheriff's Department, and printed operations fund checks for the County Commission. Do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. There's no personnel actions. Now, engineer's report.
We have nothing for you to consider.
Really? I'll get to the bottom of that tadpole issue.
Y'all can work on that all you want.
Other business. I'll try not to skip nothing else. I'll ask for a motion to approve 2 handcrafted benches provided by Aiden Harm, Life Scout and Boy Scout Troop 236 of East Limestone, to be placed at the Limestone County Archives and the Limestone County Farmers Market in celebration of the City of Athens' 200th birthday. Do I hear such a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
And Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve to expand the existing cemetery at Pleasant Grove Church at 15439 Hastings Road at the recommendation of the Limestone County Health Department. Do I hear such a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Motion carries unanimously. The next item, I'll ask for a motion to sell the following on gov deals from Council on Aging: a 1997 Dodge Intrepid and a 2007 Chevy Malibu, and a District 4, a 1996
Goosehead flatbed.
Goosehead flatbed. Never heard it called gooseneck. I ain't never heard
Well,
of goosehead. But it,
I've not heard that term either, but that's what he put.
all right. So, I hear such motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Just
A
wanted to-
motion by Mr. Harrison, second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion?
It's his truck.
Everybody's still thinking about the goose head. Ain't they? Gooseneck.
Still too.
This was a flatbed that was too short for that truck, and we'd been using it for a number of years, but it set up some oscillation. We got another excavator. We bought another excavator, Kubota excavator. It's like 8,000 pounds heavier, and we needed to have all those issues fixed before we started carrying it and traveling with it. It makes it a lot safer.
Sounds good to me. If there's no more discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There are no scheduled public hearings. We'll move to report of officers. Commissioner Hill.
Yes, sir. It's good to be here this morning. It's good to see everybody here. We continued patching, hot mixing, and bushwhacking and bush hogging, and gonna be chip sealing tomorrow at Big Jock, and then we're going to Herring and Parish, and y'all may want to stay out of that area, and weather and allow. And just as a public record, we had our Pine Chapel Antique Tractor and Engine Show. I'd like to thank the sheriff and the chief for what they had involved and others. But it was a lot of folks there. It was an economy boost for the county. There was a bunch of fuel and food and all kinds of stuff bought, and probably a hotel room or two. But anyway, it was just appreciate all the people that helped in that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Turner.
Yeah, went last week on the trip to Washington, D.C. Got to hear Kellyanne Conway talk about the opioid epidemic, which we had recently approved to help with the sheriff and some other people about that here. Heard about Trump's request for energy dominance, and then heard Jeff Sessions talk about how we needed to lower the crime rate. So it was a good trip. Appreciate the opportunity and the invitation to be able to go up there.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Black.
I have a few things here. One thing on Gov Deals, we were able to sell the bulldozer that we had listed on there. We bought a new one about a month ahead of that. We were able to make a little over $30,000 off of the bulldozer that we sold. So we bought a newer one and larger one for $35,000, sold the one for $65,200. So I'd like to thank Gov Deals for the great service. School starts this week. All parents, good luck. Teachers, good luck. Administration, bus drivers, be safe on the roads. Let's pray for all these people. Let's pray for our student resource officers. Let's pray for everybody that's involved with the school system. Our building is completed. It was completed last week. So looking forward to being able to store some equipment and actually take a little headache off of Ben and get EMA's trailer and truck out there where we can get it over to the side and won't take up any space where I need equipment to store or he might need equipment to store. So Washington, D.C. trip, fantastic time. I enjoyed it. Like to always say that I love representing Limestone County. Was able to ask the Secretary of Interior a question about the snails and about the pygmy fish. I was very thankful to him for helping us get through the red tape that we had with 4 different departments you have to talk to. His discussion was that a lot of times it doesn't have to be something that lives in the location. It has to be something that situation would allow something to live there. He made the suggestion that a grizzly bear could live inside the middle of a park, but until the people stop coming, it's probably not a real good place for the grizzly bear to live. That being said, there's a bridge in another state that has been closed for 17 years that has not been able to be opened back up due to some type of conservation or some type of endangered wildlife. So I'm glad that ours is only 3 years instead of 17 years. So fantastic time. Of course, Jeff Sessions, very thankful for Limestone County. said we always helped him in the campaigns, President Trump, and said say hi to Sheriff Mike Blakely, of course. So I think they're very good friends. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Harrison.
We're hoping to get, and people hopefully will be appreciative, we get back on Whitty Mill and fix all those base failures on Whitty Mill. We'll be using our truck that we constructed over the winter, the box where we load Portland cement. We'll be using Portland cement in that process and grinding it in and smoothing it out, and hopefully will result in a improved base that will hold up on that road. There's a lot of moisture in that road. We've got to address that issue. There's a possibility that we may even have to go in a second time if the fixes that that we're planning to do this week and next week don't work. But we will stay at it till it gets fixed. The building project is progressing. They've got all the trusses and the lumber and the post up and the trusses, and they're working on the metal today. We'll when we get through, we'll have plenty of room over there now when they get through to keep it over there with the emergency command center if they want to, wherever they want to put it. The Washington trip was really good. President Trump, this is the first time ever that he will have invited all the county commissioners in all 50 states up to Washington. And what he's done is he's gave us a list of contact individuals with each of the departments of where if we need anything that we can contact them, and we'll be talking to the right person. Actually, I agree with the most interesting discussion was with Ryan Zemke, the Department of the Interior. He presented a scenario where it took, about 10 agencies on this one project that you had to deal with, Fish and Wildlife, BLM, and what they're going to do is reorganize the Department of Interior to where you can streamline these projects and you have to deal with less individuals to get a project done. And that was really encouraging. The idea also, as they've mentioned, it's going to be energy. His focus is for the USA to be energy dominant. Okay, we're now a net exporter of oil, and that's a good thing. And he made the comment, and I've never heard it by this high-level ranking. He said these wars for oil is not a wise thing, and I've never heard someone of that ranking kind of admit that we're in some of these conflicts because of energy, and that's encouraging that maybe some of those will go away. So it was a very good trip. I also met with Thomas Massey. His chief of staff on Wednesday prior to our meeting on Thursday. I talked to Mo Brooks, and he recommended that I talk to Thomas Massey. I'm a big fan of his, and he's on the committee, the infrastructure committee. So we had a real good discussion there. But it was a very good trip. I'm impressed that President Trump has assembled a amazing team, and just about all of them said that he's a man that is 100% energy. He has them sprinting all the time, and he doesn't tolerate fools gladly. So he may not agree with all of his policies, but to me, he's a man that's fallen through on his commitments, which is kind of rare in that position. He's got a whiteboard in his office, and he checks them off, and he's a goal-oriented, driven man, and we haven't had that in the White House for a good while. So I was encouraged the whole meeting. That's all I have.
Thank y'all all for coming today, Sheriff.
Yes.
You got a road.
Oh, that's right. You got
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, I do want to do this. Maple Circle, Barker Road, Simpson Road.
I ain't the only one skipping stuff.
What's that?
I'm not the only one skipping stuff today.
We may have them make a little mod. I'm going to take one of these smaller roads and run another experiment on it. It's probably Norris Lane, and we're going to be doing some. All of these roads are scheduled for a double seal. It'll be 89s over 78s. But with one of these roads, and it'll probably be Norris Lane or maybe even Simpson Road, start to experiment with some slag as that final layer on do a triple seal on it, maybe with slag. So some of that cost may change a little bit. I talked with Charlie Watts last week, and he says, yeah, if it's not a state project, you can do that, and it'd be a good idea to try to do that, just see what happens. I will tell you it's not our road, of course, it's Highway 99. Highway 99, and they're already stockpiling material. They're going to resurface that. It will not be a plant mix surface, but people don't get too worried. Charlie Watts is going to come in and do a scrub seal. It'll be the first time that people around here will get to see a scrub seal, and what that is when they go in and they take the tar distributor, and they have a series of brushes positioned back behind it, and they drag that over, and what that does, that pushes the what people call tar, or the asphalt emulsions, down about 1.5 inches into the cracks. You get a better seal that way. And then you come over with a chip seal on top of it, and then the stuff out at Highway 99 at the bridges. What they're stockpiling there is Whitaker is the contractor there, and they're going to do a microsurface, and it'll be the first microsurface I think we've done in the county, right, Mark? That's ever,
I think so.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting, because that's going to be the future. The state, which they say they have enough to maintain, enough funding to maintain the existing structure of the roads. They're doing these type things of pavement preservation and trying to lower their costs, and we've got to do the same thing. So anyway, just want to let people know.
Is there a motion in there for these roads?
Yeah.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Yeah, here, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion?
Did I get the discussion in the wrong place?
Yeah. There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Motion carries unanimously. Is that it, Ben?
Yes, that's it.
All right, thank you all for coming. It was really nice being briefed by the departments of President Trump's candidate. President Trump himself conveyed he couldn't be there, but told me to please urge everyone in Limestone County to vote Mike Blakely this fall to be reelected for the 10th term. Sheriff, is that right? I told him, don't worry, I could just about guarantee that's going to happen. No, I am. So, in my family. So with that, we will recess until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, August 15, 2018 at the Washington Street Courthouse Annex, 310 West Washington Street, Athens, Alabama. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Commissioner.